I usually start this as I always start it, if you've heard these before, but I already, did that before I started this. And I did it while I was looking out, listening to Earth Song. Well, I started off with Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson, and then Earth Song. And I do like those songs more than I like They Don't Care About Us. I like They Don't Care About Us. I love it. I think it's the type of song you need to get fired up, But I also wish we could get a little fired up with the other two as much as we do with, They Don't Really Care About Us. It's filled, things need to have anger, things need to have rage. It's a necessity in order for certain ways of progression in this life, but I want to stick more with holding myself accountable, like Man in the Mirror, and thinking about something other than myself on the grandest scheme that we possibly can reach out to, which is this earth. And it just feels so weird talking about space and everything. Like, it's great, it's awesome, man, but we don't really have our shit together down here. But before I digress, I saw the Michael movie on Tuesday at 10:20 a.m. and I got the XD D-Box butt massaging deluxe ticket, and it was $18 because it was Tuesday or something. I don't know if prices affect like the premium tickets, you know what I mean? But what I do know is that I had a fantastic time watching that movie. And I was originally going to see it at like 7 p.m. or something that night. And my girlfriend was like, why don't you see it in the morning? And I'm like, this is why you're my girlfriend. I was like, yeah, fuck it. I like it when she tells me ideas. She doesn't tell me enough ideas, and I yell at her about it. I'm like, you don't tell me enough. I know I talk a lot. I know I do. Granted, I haven't done one of these in minute. My calluses is peeling. Well, I'm actually peeling it, so I guess I just yelled at myself. I am a force of nature. But I saw the movie at 10:20 a.m., and it was clear skies that entire day. It couldn't have been a more beautiful and just amazing time to go and see that movie. Yes, I got high before I watched it, and it was nice. I didn't have that sense of panic. I got more of the introspection and outrospection and just, trying to dissect things. And I guess I'll kind of talk about it here. If you haven't seen the Michael movie, sorry, but I need to get my opinion out somehow, right? Because I can't talk to my girlfriend about it. We are in different states. We didn't get to see it with each other. So, I like the film. I found it very motivational, in a sense. I've also heard of a person, I don't know them, but I've heard of a person from another person who knows this person, that a person has seen it 4 times at this point, which is insane. Like, I love Michael. I get it. Other people love him more. But it was great. It was motivational. Purely because he's Michael Jackson and the story, it's just everything, the cinematography. Subjectively, I give it a 7 out of 10. Objectively, I give it a 6 out of 10. He gets a point simply for being Michael Jackson. Simply for the movie being about him. And this is, I think, the first musical docu recreation bibliography movie that I've ever seen. I debated on seeing the Freddie Mercury one, and even then, man, it really shows you that even Freddie was still number 2. Freddie was amazing. Prince, amazing. Journey, amazing. Like, all these, artists and bands and everything, amazing. But even to this day, Michael Jackson, for 6 decades in a row, has had a song, I think, in the top 10? The top 10. On Spotify, he's the number 8 most listened to artist by their metrics right now. I just, regardless of the inaccuracies, regardless of the things that, I don't know. I felt a little, I didn't know how I felt about, them recreating the songs themselves. Like, I get it. I get that's what the movie is kind of supposed to entail, like, the parts of it, especially the very impactful parts, but, the pacing was, I don't know. I think pacing is so hard. Pacing is so hard to get down correctly. Pacing and power scaling are the hardest things for people to, write, to work with. But I don't know how I felt about it. It was cool. I wasn't like the biggest fan of the recreations of it. I mean, Jafar Jackson, he did a great job, I think he definitely personified who Michael was. I think if Michael's soul exists somewhere, it probably gave him the blessing, because you get the feel of Michael Jackson. You know who you don't get the feel for, and who I wish they just got some no one's heard of them kind of actor? Miles Teller. I wish he wasn't in the movie. Not to be rude, but his acting in listen, he's a good actor who's been in great movies. There we go. He's a good actor that's been in good or great movies. And, a great movie would be Whiplash. Truly, J.K. Simmons is the guy. Not that Miles did a bad job, but, just, But either way, I kind of wish that Miles wasn't in the movie. I wish it was someone else, so I wouldn't have been like, oh, that's Miles Teller doing a really bad voice impression with a really weird haircut, and I can't really tell if he's fat or he's I can't get a beat on the, I don't know. I didn't like it, but I like the seeing the relationships between everybody, But I guess starting kind of from the beginning, I love that they show Michael getting his ass beat. That listen, before you take me out of context, okay? Include the whole clip, damn it. Yeah, dude, I want to see some rawness in a film. I know he wasn't actually beat. I don't want the actual actor getting his ass beat, kinda, but at the same time, having grown up in a world, in a household where it's like that, you know what I mean? And truthfully, there were times I'd go over to my cousins and I'm like, damn, they got their ass beat for lesser reasons sometimes. Made me appreciate my dad. And just when I did that, they go around and go, did you just appreciate me? It's like that Boondocks, it's like that Boondocks joke. It's like, nigga, did I catch you trying to be shit? And he just, bam, I love it. Yeah, no, my dad was like, yeah, don't be grateful for me. I'll beat your ass harder. You gave me a new benchmark, Him and my mother would try to one-up each other sometimes. Love you, Mom. Love you, Dad. Again, it's funny to talk about it. Also, just accept it, I remember. We all remember what happened. But, the reason I say that, I kind of put that out there, is I saw a short clip from an interview Michael Jackson did of somebody asking, like, hey, is your dad too strict? Was he too strict? He goes, yeah. And he goes, okay, yeah, well, he actually told us as well, like, yeah, I might have been a little too strict. And he's like, oh, I'm glad he admitted that. Followed by another interview when he's older. It's just like, how's your relationship with your dad? And he's like, I love my dad. I just don't know him. And I thought that was a very obvious thing to say that gets completely, outshined by being angry at your dad or angry at a person. You know what I mean? Made me sad. Listen, Joe Jackson listen. The devil works hard. Joe Jackson worked harder. Because he created the greatest fucking artist there ever was. And you know, again, don't take this out of context. Just hear what I'm trying to say. I also want to preface by saying, what are my beliefs? My beliefs is anything that you believe will happen to you. Like in terms of like the afterlife, this life, everything. That is my personal opinion. I think you create your story. I think that's the power of the soul. And if you think you're going to Valhalla, you think you're going to Valhalla. If you think reincarnation is real, reincarnation's real. If you know what I mean? Like in some aspect, it all has to be real. That is the paradoxical nature of the universe. If everything is possible, nothing is possible. So everything kind of has to fit in an order, you know? Maybe we're going through a time period where, you know, reincarnation is real. And maybe somehow, some way that changes down the line. Because people are like, the universe has always been just the universe. It's like, yeah, but like, no, and it's gonna change as well, you know? The concept of duality in some form, phase, or way will fade out in terms of, you know, being at the hierarchy of universal truth, you know? Like, that will change. It's going to change. That's what leads to, you know, the different possibilities of different universes, thinking about the different logic of it, and even then, because we are limited by language, you know, we don't communicate so much through our other senses. We do, you know, bodily language, which, yeah, whatever, sign language, yeah, you get the point. The point being is, like, I will never, even with my beliefs that if whatever you believe, feel free to believe whatever you want, yada, 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 I still am somebody who would never support the, you know, hurting of other people. Like, at least with malicious intent in a way that's not competitive, because I love boxing. I love combat sports. Love it. Love it. Wrestling, RAF, oh my god, dude. I love having these faces. Sometimes I've been in a Muay Thai one championship type of phase. I'll try to, like, find some... I don't like the street fight, like, what's it called? Street beefs. Never been a fan. Like, it's cool. I get it. Like, I get why people like it. I'm personally not a fan. I like finding, like, the true backyard stuff. You know, which you can't really find too much on YouTube anymore. You can kind of find it on World Star, I guess, but even then, it's like Jorge, you know, Kimbo Slice, those, but like with Muay Thai, you know. I like seeing gym fights sometimes. Like, those are cool. It's like, ooh, okay. Let's see what's going on here. This counts. This counts in some ways. It does. Yes, it fucking does. So I think that in order for a light to shine its brightest, it must go through levels of darkness. And I think it's very ironic that you have Satan, who is the, you know, angel of light, the most beautiful of them all, and then turned away from God and all this type of stuff. And it just feels like a weird, like, okay, so it just ends and that's how it is forever. Didn't Shrek teach us anything about forever afters? No. I think the true mission is, if you see somebody who is causing harm and everything like that, and just being an all-around bad person, in the same way that they have this deep darkness, I think in some form or way they also have an extravagant light. And clearly they're not showing that. The evil parts that they are displaying are not the light parts. That's not what I'm saying. Don't get it twisted. What I'm saying is, if they learned a little bit of remorse, if they understood the errors of their ways, Father, they know not what they do, I think you would see some amazing, amazing people. It's kind of like the duality of, you know, elves and goblins, you know. The elves in, you know, some facets were these beautiful beings, God's favorites, or blessed by the universe, and then jealousy from another, you know, brought about their ruin. But you also have to think about the elves themselves, who are making, like, they did make those bad decisions. I am referring to a specific story. I don't want to say what, because I don't want to spoil anything about it, because it's a very good show. But if you know what I'm referring to, you get it. So I don't know. I think there's this weird thing with the people at the top that, you know, maybe they believe this, maybe in some form or way, because they're all Satanists, you know what I mean? And I don't think they really get it if they're sacrificing people and hurting people in this facet. I just think the way to look at how that story should probably end is, when does Lucifer become light again? When does he realize the error of his ways, if there are any errors to his ways? You know, what is right and wrong? You could dive very deep on that, and I know I've strayed away from what my original point was, but to kind of tie it around, you had somebody like Michael Jackson who went through a lot of darkness and still came out the lighthearted person that he was. And I guess that's why Jesus or something is supposed to be the opposite of Satan or something. Or, I don't know. Right? Like, to go through such hell and not do bad things and still come out the other end showing light. Like, a cool type of character trope we all like is the one who does, like, you know, the evil things for the sake of good. Like, that's, I get it, you know, but at the end of the day, you live with a crazy weight. But also, if you do these bad things, is there room for, before forgiveness, redemption? Or if forgiveness is a part of redemption? Either way, I don't know. It just makes me sad in general, but it's like, did it have to be that way? Was Michael not going to be as great as he could have been if he wasn't tortured like that by his father? You know? If he didn't have this fear, like, is that the sacrifice a father has to make if they're aware of it? You know what I mean? To be aware that you can cause greatness by giving extreme emotions like hatred and fear and things like that, anger. But what about the extreme emotion of joy, of ecstasy, of, you know? Like, does that not play a factor? Can you not create greatness from that? I think you can, right? You have to. You have to be able to create greatness. This is cool. Sorry, I'm like playing with my headphone wire. But like, there has to be that outlet. So, kind of continuing with it. Yeah, the pacing was a little funky. You know what I mean? It was cool seeing a little bit behind the scenes of who Michael was. I hear there's a lot of inaccuracies. I haven't completely looked it up. I probably will. I do get why people would want to see it twice. It does feel like that type of movie. You know, it's because you want to see more, dude. You want to see more of this guy. And he intentionally was the way he was in terms of, you know, mysterious. It leaves people wanting more. He was a great marketer, you know, from a business perspective. But from a human perspective, the things he sung about, the things he wanted to show people, tell people, you look around and you're like, we don't really have an artist like that. And then I look at the man in the mirror myself, and I'm like, could I do it? I'm like, nah, I kind of fucking suck at singing. I got the passion. I got the fire, you know? I don't know if I got the dance moves, but I got the spirit, you know? But I guess that's what separates the Michael Jackson from any fucking schmuck out there that's just, I have want, I have need, I want to do it, you know? So maybe I do have to work hard. Maybe I am not, I damn well know I'm not working the hardest that I can, you know? And that's something that I really liked hearing that Joe Jackson say of, if you work hard, harder than anybody, you will be great. You will be. You won't have to end up in the position that he's in. And that type of anger that a father displays of, I don't want you in this position. I know how hard it is. I'm living it. And I would hate to see you living through it too. But not having the cap on the bottle of don't throw your emotions at your child. You will fuck up your relationship with them. It was great seeing his rise, just, what he ended up becoming, his voice changing through the years. We didn't get to see some of the, older albums. I would have liked to see a little bit of Ben. I would have liked to have seen Off the Wall, I don't know. There were points that they didn't touch upon that I really would have liked to see. But whatever. They could have easily done 3 movies. I think they're only going to do 2. And that just goes into what I say about people don't know how to pace shit anymore. They just don't. Our attention span is fucking fried. I'm not saying go One Piece, but Jesus, you don't have to go Jujutsu Kaisen. Hot garbage. Overrated, just glorified mediocrity. That's what that is. And I'm going to fix it. Sorry, Gigi. I look at Jujutsu Kaisen, I see what you did to it, and I'll take it from here. Okay? I'll take it from here. You don't need to work on this anymore. Right? You released Jujutsu Modelo, and it's called Modelo because you have to be drunk to enjoy it. And it really put the final nail in the coffin of just manga slop, I guess is what I would call it, because that's what the kids say. Maxing slop. They just add that to the end. I don't know. I'm gonna go try to be great in the gym. Let's see if I can fucking do that. I'm gonna go run, work on some things. It's 10:38. I'm usually a lottle. Huh. I used to say that word before I go off on that. Yeah, I'm a lottle lazy. I'm fucking lazy on a Friday. Like, I woke up early with my girlfriend because she called me. She's an hour behind. She had to go to work. She wakes up at 5:30. I'm up, and I stayed in bed, and I was a bad boy. I don't feel guilty about it, but definitely better ways to spend my time. But I used to say the word lottle a lot because it's the combination of a little and a lot. And I never would have even thought about the fact that, wow, just saying that acronym saying that combination of words would end up becoming an acronym for, I would say, and I'm not even done with it, and I really, really hope it ends well, my favorite manga of all time, which is Land of the Lustrous. Lottle. God, I'm going to see my girlfriend in about a week now. Yeah, in a week, I'm going to see my girlfriend. I'm going to help her pack, move, everything, and I'm going to have to face the reality that is that goddamn story and universe. Oh, that thing hurts, man. That thing sucks. Oh my God, I am not a fan. I am a fan. I'm a super big fan. But man, that story hurts. Story hurts a lot. Probably hurts as much as the ass whoopings that Jackson was getting, I wish they showed at least 2-3 more ass whoopings. Really get the point across that he was abused, Because I see how I was abused and I'm not fucking great. So I guess my dad did. You know what? Fuck my dad. He didn't hit me enough. He should have beat my ass until it was fucking pulp. I hate my dad. How dare he? My mother, my father, they should have fucked me up. How dare they be lenient and give me open hand slaps? Should have fucking closed fist. Really teach a kid a lesson. Alright. I think I need to go to the gym. That's basically it. I haven't done one of these in a while. I know I have a lot more to talk about, but I should probably do another one of these tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after, and, stay a little bit more consistent with this. Alright? I hope everybody enjoys their day. If you have things that you want me to talk about, leave a comment DM me. Definitely find my number. Call me, text me, harass me, tell me I ain't shit, and then tell me what you want me to talk about. Okay? Goodbye, everybody.